You ever meet someone and just click instantly? Or, the total opposite, where you feel this invisible wall just pop up between you? Well, a lot of that comes down to the first impression. So today, we're going to break down how you can make a real, genuine connection with someone, and get this, it all happens in a crazy short amount of time.
So let me ask you, when you meet somebody new, how much time do you really have before their brain kind of makes up its mind about you? You think in a few minutes, maybe 5? Well, the real answer, it's probably way, way shorter than you think.
90 seconds. That's it. That's the magic number. It's pretty much all the time it takes for someone to decide if they trust you, if they're interested, and honestly, if they even want to keep talking to you. And we're not just talking about a big job interview or a first date here. This happens absolutely everywhere. At a party, in a meeting with a client, even just waiting in line for a coffee. That 90-second clock starts ticking in every single new interaction. So the question is, how do you make every one of those seconds count? Okay, so let's break this down. We're going to start with the absolute foundation, the first 15 seconds. And what's so wild about this part is that it happens almost completely without you saying a single word. Yep, your body is doing all the talking long before you open your mouth. The keys to this are actually super simple. First, open up your posture. Uncross your arms, stand tall. It just signals that you're open and receptive. Second, make some eye contact. Now, I don't mean an intense, creepy stare, but just a warm, confident glance that says, hey, I see you. And third, a real smile, the kind that actually reaches your eyes. That's your universal welcome mat right there. I mean, the difference is just night and day, right? On one side, you've got all the classic do not disturb signs. Crossed arms, looking at the floor. It literally creates a barrier. But on the other side, open arms, maybe your palms are visible, you've got that real smile going on. These are all signals of trust and warmth. You instantly look more magnetic, more approachable. Okay, so you've nailed the nonverbals. Let's move into the next phase. For the next 30 seconds or so, it's time to actually start talking. But what you say, and maybe more importantly, what you don't say, is absolutely everything. This quote really hits the nail on the head. We have this idea that to be a great conversationalist, you have to be a great talker. But the real secret? It's being a great listener. Every single one of us has this deep, fundamental need to feel heard and understood. So here's your toolkit. Use their name. It makes people feel seen. Ask open-ended questions, the kind that can't just be answered with a yes or no. That invites them to share a real story. And try giving a specific compliment, like, wow, that's a really interesting way to look at it. It's so much more powerful than something generic. The main goal here isn't to put on a show. It's to be genuinely curious about who you're talking to. So if being curious is the goal, what's the one thing that will just slam the brakes on a connection faster than anything else? What's the biggest mistake pretty much all of us make from time to time? The monologue. We've all been there, right? Trapped, listening to someone go on and on and on about themselves. When you just dominate the conversation, you're sending a really loud and clear message. And that message is, I'm way more interested in myself than I am in you. It is an instant connection killer. All right, we are in the home stretch of our 90 seconds. You've opened things up with great body language. You've sparked a real conversation. Now let's get into the final phase. This is how you make that connection really stick and become memorable. Just look at this breakdown. It's so telling. 50%, half, of a great conversation is just listening. Another 30% is asking good questions. That leaves only 20% for you to share about yourself. It really forces you to shift your focus from broadcasting out to receiving. Okay, this next one is a little more of an advanced move, but it is so powerful. It's called synchronicity. It's really just about tuning into the other person's vibe. So if they're talking softly and they're pretty calm, you kind of match that. If they're super energetic and excited, you bring your energy level up a notch to meet them. Now, it's not about mimicking them like a parrot, but subtly aligning with them. It creates this subconscious feeling of, hey, we're on the same wavelength. So let's bring all these pieces together. And I want to be clear, this is not some collection of tricks to manipulate people into liking you. Think of this whole thing as a superpower for building real, genuine human connections, one 90-second interaction at a time. So here it is, the whole roadmap, right here. The first 15 seconds, your whole focus is open body language. From 15 to 45 seconds, you pivot to a curious conversation. You ask, you listen. And in that final stretch, from 45 to 90 seconds, you build that deeper connection by finding that synchronicity. It's simple, it's clear, and it's crazy effective.
I really have to hammer this point home. If you try to fake a smile or pretend to be curious, people can smell it from a mile away. The whole point of this framework is just to remove the awkward barriers that stop your natural, genuine interest in other people from shining through. It's all about being present and actually paying attention.
So the next time you walk into a room or meet someone new or just start a conversation, remember that clock. You've got this incredible opportunity in that first minute and a half. The only question left is, who are you going to connect with?